Shalom, family. Welcome to On Purpose Ministries, where we, the Father, the Son, Holy Spirit, help you, my brothers and sisters, find your purpose so you can walk in purpose, live with purpose, and do everything on purpose. I am your sister, Rashida, and we welcome you. So, Shalom, family. I pray all is well with each and every one of you. I am here to address a few things, any questions you may have, any concerns you may have. As many of you may know, all of the videos on my channel have been taken down and everything has been removed, so it's nothing there. During the fast/consecration that we did last month, the silence, the noise, it was very powerful. And during that time of just sitting with God, he revealed a lot of things to me, and he had me doing a lot of things that many may not understand, and that's okay, because everything that God has me to do is not for everybody, and it's not for everybody to understand, but I must obey him regardless of how anybody feels. So during that time of the silence, the noise, that's exactly what he did. He silenced the noise in my life. He had me to remove people and remove myself from people. He had me to cut off certain things that I was doing. He had me to end a lot of things. So this is just to clarify some things and give some updates. So with the Bible study, the women's Bible study group, God has called me to stop that during that fast and the consecration. And it's nothing personal. You know, it has nothing to do with anything personal. It's just in the direction that he's leading me now as things come to an end. He had me to cut that out, so I will no longer be doing the women's Bible study group. All the words and the things that we was releasing through the group, it would just be strictly released here on the channel for everybody to get a chance to hear it and everybody to get a chance to receive those words and the things that we was doing in the women's Bible study group. Also with the one-on-one calls, he has called me to stop that for a season. So right now I cannot do any more encouragement calls or anything like that right now. Like I said, everything will be here on this ministry channel that God has me doing. We will all do it together. So he had me to remove the videos. He kind of revealed that to me. I was feeling that already in my spirit earlier in the month, but I wasn't just going to do that unless God gave me clarity and he really revealed to me that that's what he wanted me to do. And at first I was kind of struggling with it because I was like, are you sure you want me to, I was going back and forth with it. So I really wanted to hear God clearly on it before I actually did it. So towards the end of it is when he made everything clear, the reason why he wanted me to do it. And he told me exactly how to do everything. And the reason is because a lot of people have made an idol out of these words that God gives and some that he don't give. They have made an idol out of this journey. They have made an idol out of marriage. A lot of people have made an idol out of marriage. And what you have is you have people relying on these words, these prophetic words, these videos that are being released. And now you have so many people coming out and promoting it, people growing off of it. And God is not pleased with that. And God knows the heart of men. He knows who's truly his and who's not. He knows who is for him and who's not. He knows who will receive the promise and who will still be there by his side. He knows who will get what they need from him and walk away. God knows all of these things. And he's not pleased because instead of having a relationship with him, people still are so focused on when their spouse is going to come, when God is going to release their finance, when God is going to do this, when God is going to do that, instead of truly being in relationship with him. And people have made an idol out of the promises that the Most High God has given them. And it was never meant to be an idol. It was never meant for you to worship. It was never meant to be put above him. But that's what people are doing. You have people literally each day they don't allow God to bring the word to them. They get on YouTube. They get on these social media platforms and they literally go looking for a word concerning their situation, and then they find something and then they come into agreement with it and then get mad when it doesn't happen because God never spoke that for them. They decided to go out and come into agreement. This is the thing with that. You have people who will be like, I come into agreement with this prophetic word for my life. I come into agreement. Oh, I accept this for myself. You can't accept anything for yourself. You can't come into agreement for anything for yourself if that's not what God has for you, and that's not what God is speaking concerning your life. So you can say you come into agreement with it all you want, but if that's not what God has for you, that's not what He has for you, and it's not going to happen for you. Another thing is, many people who think they're on this journey are truly not on this journey. God never told you was on this journey. You invited yourself. You called yourself onto a journey that God never called you to be on. Because for those who truly God has called them to be on this journey, He called you into the wilderness. He called you into a life of isolation for a while so that He can strip everything in you. He can remove everything around you so He can renew you and He can use you for His purpose and His glory. Then you came kicking, screaming. You did not want to do what it was that God had called you to do. It has not been easy. This journey has been tough. It has been challenging in every way possible. And you struggle with it day and night and staying on it and being consistent in the thing that God has called you to do. So for those who truly came on this journey and God called them on this journey, you didn't even want to come. You didn't even want to do it. You was excited at first, but when God really revealed to you what was going on, you didn't want to do it. So a lot of people are standing for people that God did not call them to stand for. They went and picked somebody that they was in love with, that they were lusting after. And they said, this is my spouse. I'm going to stand for this person. I'm going to pray for this person. I'm going to fast for this person. But God never told you that was your person. God never told you that that's what He had for you. So you get mad and you get angry with God because God is not giving you something that He never said was for you, in the beginning. So a lot of people have made an idol out of this. What God has for you is for you. Nobody can take that away. But like I said, people make it an idol out of it. As soon as those videos went down, this is how you know. The people notice it right away. The ones who watch it every day. Once He give a word and release the word, you come into the agreement. First of all, you take the word back to Him and make sure it's of Him. He said this word is for you. He gonna confirm His word for you. And you come into agreement with His word. You don't have to continuously go back to that word every day, every other day, to continue to hear it over and over and over and over and over again. He gave you a word. Test the word to make sure it is of Him. He confirms it. You come in agreement with the word He has spoken. You do whatever it is He is telling you to do concerning that word, but you don't have to continue to watch it. You don't have to continue to go out and look for the words. Whatever word He has for you is going to come to you. But you don't have to go in and literally type on YouTube or whatever, Kingdom Spouse word concerning my father. No, that is not of God. That's not how you do. You are making an idol out of prophets, out of prophetess, out of ministers, out of leaders. People are making idols out of these things. And that's the last thing I ever want to be. I don't want nobody to come to me in the placement of God, because I'm not God. Nor will I ever be anything close to Him. So that's why He called me to shut it down. Because from since last year, God had me doing the encouragement calls, encouraging His children, strengthening up His children. I stayed on the phone for hours. I mean hours, 6 hours, 3 hours on the phone with his children, encouraging them, strengthening them up, praying for them, standing with them, fasting for them. So he is shutting that down, because once he give you a word, it's supposed to strengthen you up. You're supposed to be growing, and many people are not growing in him because they're still overlooking him. They're still trying to replace him with the things that he created. He sent you a sister, he sent you a brother to minister into you, to confirm things to you, to reveal things to you. But still, at the end of the day, he doesn't want you to depend on them. And that's what a lot of people have begun to do. People would come to me and they would ask me, can you tell me how my spouse look? Can you tell me when they're coming back? Can you tell me? I'm like, oh my, it became too much. I'm like, God, why are they not coming to you? You have these answers, not me. I don't have those answers, nor do I want those. I don't know. No. What a lot of people don't realize, you're not looking for a prophet. You're not looking for a prophetess. You're not looking for a true man or woman of God. You're looking for a psychic. Because the questions you ask, and then they get mad. People get mad when you don't tell them when the date. They want the exact date, the time. I want to know how it's going to happen, when my finances is going to be released, when my body's going to be healed, when my kids going to do. When I need to know when, where, how it's going to happen, where it's going to take place. That's not of God. Go to him. He has all the answers you need concerning every area of your life. He has the answers. Not me, not nobody else, but God has the answers. He knows the plans that he has for you. He knows, not me, nobody else. So if anybody comes to you, I know the plans. No, you better check the spirit. God knows, and only God knows. So it ain't gonna be too many more of those type of words, because it's coming to an end. God is saying, what more do you need to hear concerning this journey? If you have been on this journey for a while, you should know everything that you need to know by now. You should be at the place of your stance where nothing and nobody means more than God. Nothing is more important to your relationship than your relationship with God. That's where you should be right now. You don't need any more words concerning your spouse, those words he has given. He has done that the entire journey. What more do you need to believe that God is going to do what he said he's going to do? How many more confirmations do you need? When are you going to finally trust him and believe that what he's spoken is true? No matter if it's a delay or not, when are you going to believe it? When are you going to trust him and depend fully on him, not nobody else? When? It's coming to an end. Now we're at the point where God is sending us out. It's no more talking about. If you're still confused about who God has called you to stand for, what assignment God has you on, you need to go back to him, because look, you should not be there anymore. Where is the growth? Each stage you went through, you were supposed to learn something. You were supposed to grow in that area. He has strengthened you in those areas that you were once weak in. So right now, your desire should totally be God. God, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven, in every area of my life. If you're still worried about a man or a woman, you're still worried about finance, you're still worried about the cares of this world, then you are not ready. Your focus should be on God. God, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. When you wake up, what is it that you need from me today? How can I serve you today? That's where your focus should be on. Your spouse will come, the finances will come, your healing will come, your children will return. All of that will happen when you stop looking for it. When you stop chasing it and them and chase God. You're not seeing the movement you desire to see because it's not going to happen the way that you want it to happen. You need to let that go today. However, the plans that you have concerning your life, you need to let it go today. and fully surrender it over to God, because it's not going to happen the way you want it to happen. It's not going to look the way you think it should look. It's not going to come to you the way you think it should come, because he said he knows the plans that he has for you. He knows the plans that he has for you. So whatever those plans is he has for you, that is what's going to be. Not your plans, not my plans, not our will, but his will. Not our way, but his way. So when you stop looking for it, it will happen. I'm trying to tell you, when you stop being concerned about it, it will come. But as long as you're still worried about when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, why I got to wait so long, why this, why that, with all the murmuring and complaining, you will never receive it. And the sad thing is, a lot of people won't receive anything that God has promised them simply because they want that and they desire that very thing that God is promising them more than they want him. And then you have some who will receive it, but they're going to mess it up because they didn't allow God to fully cook it. They wanted it before it's time. They didn't go through the proper training. And God's going to allow it to destroy them. Then you have a few who actually stood for God. They actually did what he had told them to do. How he told them to do. That don't mean you did it perfect, but you still did it. You still show up for God. And you learned what needed to be learned. You got what you needed to get from this journey. And those people will receive everything that God has promised them and so much more, because they desire him more than they desire that promise. They have completely stopped idolizing it. They have stopped idolizing people. They have let all of their plans go. They have taken their hands off it, and all they want is God. Those people will receive it. And not only will they receive it, they will be able to hold on to what God has given them. It will never be able to be taken from them, because they're going to put God first and they're going to keep God first. And that's the whole thing. God will not share his glory with another. And as long as you keep glorifying that man, that woman, that your finances, your business, your job, your career, your health, whatever, as long as you keep glorifying that over God, he will keep allowing that to destroy you. He will keep allowing it to hurt you, fail you, as long as you keep idolizing it. So listen to what I'm saying. People know it's a desperation, because a lot of people are desperate. They don't know how to be alone. They don't know how to be alone at all. So because in that silence, you forced to face everything that's going on in your life. You can't run from it. But as long as you keep drinking the alcohol, as long as you keep the music on, as long as you surround yourself with people, you can avoid those feelings. But when you're alone, you're forced to feel it. So people are desperate to be with somebody. And a lot of people are not even ready to be with the person that God has them for. But God is going to give it to a lot of people, and they're going to ruin it, because they couldn't wait for God to do what he needed to do in you, in that person, in that situation. A lot of people are impatient. A lot of people received their promises already at the beginning of this year. My prayer is that when in the time that God allows them to, that they will come forth and they will share their testimony, so that God can be glorified through their testimonies. Because a lot of people receive the promise and they gone. You will never know how many people that God has truly blessed and has brought their promise to pass, because they don't share it. They don't share it at all. So the purpose is to give God the glory, but how is God giving the glory if nobody knows what God did concerning your situation? You just got it and left. Now, I understand in some situations God may tell certain people not to speak about their situation until he released them to, but I'm talking about the ones that God has not told them that. That if they share their testimony, it would strengthen the body, but it's nothing we can do about that. But I pray that people will come forth and actually share Because I can't share nobody's testimony because it's not mine to share. But I pray that those sisters, because it was mostly sisters that I have talked to and a few brothers, that they will come forth and they will share their testimony of how God did it so it will encourage others. But understand this, family. Understand this. Whatever God's will is for your life is going to be done. Like I said, at the end of last year, I believe it was in December or January. I think it was in December. That many people will receive their promises at the beginning of the year, towards the middle. I think it was towards June. And then others will receive theirs towards the end of the year. If they have completed the work. If God has called you on this journey. Because like I said, a lot of people think they're on the journey, but they're not. They just came into agreement with something that God did not have for their life. God will reveal the plans that he has for you. But the thing is, you have to go to him. Go to him so that he can reveal those plans that he has for you. So stop looking for God outside of God and go to him so that you won't be misled, so that you won't be deceived. But as far as this ministry and what God has told me, I move how God wants me to move, because it ain't my ministry. It's his. I don't belong to nobody. I belong to him. So I'm going to obey him. I'm going to do whatever he tell me to do, however he tell me to do it. So, like I said, it won't be those words. It's over with. Not saying he won't be talking about, those things anymore, but now how it was, because you should be on your journey where you don't need that anymore. It's a faith walk. You were comforted this whole time with words. Every time you was ready to give up, God will give you a word to encourage you, to strengthen you up. But now is the test. What have you learned? What have you gathered? Are you truly ready for it? What is your relationship like with God now versus how it was in the beginning? Is it still the same? People say, I don't see any changes. I don't see any growth. But and that's only coming from them looking at another person. And they don't see the changes and the growth that they desire to see in that person or in that situation. But what is the changes and the growth that you see in yourself? That's the question. Has God did any changes in you? Has any growth taken place in you? Has he changed anything in your situation? That's the question. What has he done in you? He releases the promises in the order that he desires to. You're not in control. We're not in control. And as soon as you learn that and you understand that, you will get it. But understand this. It will come. Whatever you waiting on God for. When you stop looking for it and look to him. Look at the promise keeper and not the promises. So get your focus back on God and do all it is that he desires you to do. Please get back to him. Don't neglect him. Don't forget about him. Who can he find faithful here on this earth? Will it be you? Will it be me? As wickedness continues to increase in this earth, God is sending us out. That's where we are at now. Stage 3 is stage 3 for those who know about the get out revelation. Is when that person comes into knowledge of who they are in God. And they fully surrender to God. and they were in the place of repentance and judgment. Let God do what he's doing and don't stand in the way of him doing it. Be patient and wait on God and trust his timing, not yours. He knows when it's going to happen. He knows how it's going to happen. That's who you should be asking. That's who you should be going to. And if he desired to reveal that through one of his prophets, his prophet is, whoever, however he want to do it, then he will do it. But you won't have to go looking for it. You don't have to go looking for confirmation of anything that God has spoken. He's going to confirm it to you himself, however he desires to confirm it to you. But he's not a man that he shall lie. So if he spoke it, he shall perform it. He will do whatever it is that he said he's going to do. You have to believe in him. You have to wait on him. You have to trust him. You have to. And I can't really speak fully on my situation just yet until the full testimony come out. But I would say this. God is doing exactly what he said he was going to do concerning my journey. It's so much that God has done, and I cannot thank him enough. I can't wait to share everything because I know it's going to bless so many people. I can't wait to share it. I'm not going to get it and run and no, I'm going to share it because I want God to be glorified. But he has done so many things in my life that he promised me years ago. When God first gave me this promise, everything that is taking place now, he promised me years ago. This all started in, I believe, 2020? No, towards the end of 2020 is when he started revealing everything towards me. I believe it was November 2020. And everything that God spoke to me then a lot of it has come to pass. And a lot of it is still coming to pass. So understand this, when God gives you a word, it may not happen to days later, weeks later, months later, years later. But it's all in his timing. And I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful that he made me wait. And I know a lot of people won't agree with that because you want it when you want it. I get it. But I don't. I don't want anything before God's timing because I don't want to mess it up. And God had to do a lot of healing in me, a lot of deliverance. I had to go through those things. We had to go through those things. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that God made me wait. Because had he given it to me when I wanted it, I would have destroyed it. I would have messed it up because I was not ready. So I'm grateful for the journey, though it was challenging. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. I can't thank him enough. I can't praise him enough. I can't worship him enough. I'm grateful to God that he allowed me to go through all of these things because I needed it. It was necessary. The pain was necessary. The hurt, the shame, all of it was necessary. It was necessary. It needed to happen. And I'm grateful. Even though it didn't feel good, it needed to happen. And I'm grateful. And I cannot wait to share all that God has done in my life. I can't wait to just testify about the goodness of God because people don't do it. People don't share enough about the goodness of God. And it irritates me in a way. It frustrates me because you see people glorify the devil all the time. How they got this and this and this and that. They willingly share what he's doing in their life. But when it comes to God, you mostly hear people murmuring and complaining about what he's not doing instead of glorifying him and praising him for what he has done and what he is doing. I don't want to be one of those people. And I pray you don't be one of those people. But God He deserves to be glorified through it all. And remember this. You're not doing it for a person. You're not doing it for finances. You're not doing it for blessings. You're not doing it for any of those things. And if that's what you're still thinking that you're doing it for, you're not ready. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about God and His will being done here on this earth as it is in heaven. So either you're going to allow Him to get the glory out of you, or you're going to let the devil get the glory out of you. Either way, somebody will. Who? That's on you. But I just had to get on here and, speak about what God placed on my spirit to speak when He tells me to speak it. I don't owe nobody I don't have to answer nobody. I don't have to do any of those things until God tells me to do it. Man don't control me. God does. So understand that anytime you have any questions, now if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free. You're more than welcome to reach out to me through email, and I will respond, when God allows me to and when I see it. But if God tells me not to respond, then I can't. I have to obey Him. But you're more than welcome to reach out to me through the email, any questions you have and anything like that. But God is sending us out. He is sending us out. That's where we are at. You don't need no more confirmation about who your person is. You don't need no more confirmations regarding the promises that God has given you. You don't need no more confirmation on that part. You don't. Either you're going to trust God or you're not. That's your choice. I'm not here to force nobody to trust God. I'm not here to do any of those things. I'm just here to do God's will and get out the way. I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be heard. None of that. May He be seen. May He be heard. May He be felt. May He be glorified at the end of the day. So the direction that God is leading this ministry, I can't speak for nobody else. I'm talking about this ministry, His ministry. Everything will take place on this channel right here. So like I said, the Bible study, everything will be over here. I will eventually start going live so we can do all of these things together. I'm still trying to get a few things set in place. But everything will take place on here. And if all you desire, I'm going to make this known right now. And I say this with love, brothers and sisters. If all you are here, just to hear, if all you want to hear is words about marriages, wealth, and blessings, then I'm telling you now that this is not the ministry for you. Because we are going out and we're walking in purpose. And that's what God is speaking about. Your purpose in that marriage. Repentance, forgiveness, healing, deliverance. It's so much things that we have to do here on this earth. And that is what we'll be speaking about. That's what we'll be learning about. That's what we'll be talking about. Excuse me, the purpose behind it all. But brothers and sisters, I just want to tell you this. I love you, and the Most High God loves you so much more. I pray you be encouraged. I pray that you standing strong in your faith. I pray that you are truly seeking God concerning everything. That you are in relationship with Him. That you desire Him more than you desire anything else. So that nothing will be able to come in between you and God. So I pray that you keep Him first. That you love on Him and allow Him to love on you. It's such a beautiful place to be on this journey, to where you have fully given it to God and all you see is Him now. You don't see that man. You don't see that woman. You don't see the distractions. You don't see anything but God. You don't see anything but Him. But it will come, it will happen when you stop looking. Stop looking for it to happen. Expect it. Meaning you still trust and believe that God is going to do whatever He said He's going to do in your life. But I'm not finna sit here and just every day. Is it coming today? Is it going to happen today? When is it? No, that's idolatry. You still in idolatry. God will not share his glory with another. If he gave you a word, if he gave you a promise, best believe he's going to keep it. His word will not return unto him void. He does not lie. So either you trust him or you don't. At the end of the day, that's your choice. I can't make you believe God for whatever it is that he has promised you. You can't make me believe God for whatever it is he has promised me. We have to believe it. Believe him for ourselves. So that's all I have to say right now. I just wanted to update y'all. And just come and speak what has been placed on my spirit to speak. Whether you believe it or not, I don't care. And as far as the negative comments, that's something I was going back and forth with God about, because that can also be a distraction, because people always have something negative to say, but that's the world that we live in. I was going back and forth on, should I just turn the comments off or should I leave it on, God? And I just came to the conclusion I'm going to leave the comments on, because I want people to be able to talk and share their testimonies and fellowship with one another, and express their feelings, whether it's good or bad. So if it's negative, so be it. If it's positive, so be it. At the end of the day, I cover this channel in the blood. I cover the comment section in the blood. I cover all the works that God is doing over here in the blood of Yeshua. So at the end of the day, it's in God's hand. So the direction we are going is the direction that God is leading us to go. So that's it for this word, family. Be blessed, stay strong, and trust God. And know that he is going to do whatever it is he said he's going to do. Stop looking for it and look for him. Shalom.